But today we're going to work on shoulder mobility. So Friday classes, I've been rotating, focusing on different parts of the body and working on mobility. So today we're up to the shoulders. That means that next week we go back down to feet and ankles. So that's going to be the rhythm of Fridays, and I think we're going to continue with these classes through the summer. So stay tuned for these Friday mobility tune-ups. Now it's a lovely warm morning here in California. I'm sweating already. And I just wanted to share with you guys one of the things that I do on a regular basis to take care of my health and nutrition. So it's this. Yeah, a nice thick green juice. So what does this have? It has celery, kale, green apple, carrot, ginger, and lemon. And why do I drink this? It's, you know, like at first it might not be the tastiest thing out there, but eating fresh green vegetables is one of the best things that you could feed your body. It's one of the best things that you can do to maintain your health, your immune system, and also a proper digestion. So that's my 5 cents of nutrition advice for the week. I'm gonna sip on this. Wonderful. Okay, so shoulder mobility. I might have touched on this a while back when we did other shoulder mobility classes, but I want to bring it up again for this class. Our shoulder joint is one of the most mobile joints in our body. It has full range of reach in every direction, pretty much. Now, there might be some issues that people have in their shoulder that will restrict that full range of motion. And it's totally normal. It happens with time. It happens as our bodies become more mature as well. It also happens if we have too much fun and we fall or we have accidents, and then there's scar tissue that will restrict the mobility of our shoulder in one direction or the other. There are a few common injuries that happen with people who practice a lot of sports. So if you are one of those people who have some restriction or have had some issues in your shoulders, then take this class very easy and go slow so that you can really tell to what point it's safe to move your shoulder. So you don't want to go past the point of pain. So the pain it's an alarm, it's a signal that's telling you that is as far as you should go. So please listen very closely to those signals and follow what your body is telling you. All right? I want to keep this very safe for everyone. Unfortunately, I'm not there to be monitoring or giving you direct feedback. But if you have any specific questions, please write them down on the comments, and I will try to solve them as soon as I can. All right, so to start warming up our shoulders, we're going to stand up. Also, I forgot to mention this class is usually at noon, but today I'm transmitting at 11, just an hour early because I had a conflict in my schedule. So you might see this later. So anyway, let's get started. Let's come to standing, and I will Okay, we might have some issues. I don't know. We're having a few issues with the reception. Not sure, guys. It's a little spotty today, so bear with me. If it cuts up, it'll come back on. Hopefully, it doesn't cut completely. All right. Are we in frame? I'm gonna tilt it up a little bit. All right. So for this class, we will need an open space where you can move. We are also going to use a foam roller. This is my fancy foam roller from Thailand. Any foam roller works, or a water bottle wrapped in a towel so it's not too intense. So we'll keep that to the side. And we're also going to use the wall. Okay. So standing, and you can step wide so that you're very stable. Make sure that there is enough space around you. And we're going to start swinging our arms and looking all the way behind you. And I'm making fists. So with my fist, I'm tapping on my body. On the front, I tap between the shoulder and the clavicle. And in the back, just below the shoulder blade. And go ahead and give yourself a good tap here. All right, bring it back to center. Take your head in gentle circles, thinking about drawing a circle with your nose, as if you had a mirror right in front of you, or a sliding door, and you're drawing a circle with your nose on that flat surface. I'm bringing it back to center. Now take your shoulders up, back, and down. You can create a little wave in your body, a little bounce with the knees. You might hear some crunching. All right, now we'll take one arm at a time and we'll draw a big circle. Now make sure that you're not taking your shoulder too far, that it is safe within your range of motion today. And with the other hand, I'm holding my chest kind of in a static position, so that I'm not compensating with my waist, but I'm focusing on the circle at the shoulder joint. And it can also be a smaller circle, depending on what feels safe to your joint. We're starting very soft, so don't push it too much. Change direction. Soft circles to warm up the joint. And at the same time, I'm feeling with my fingers, I'm feeling my chest muscles. You can put a little bit of pressure there. It's actually really nice. Okay, and let's change sides. We're taking the other shoulder in circles, pressing with your fingers the chest. And You might already notice a difference between the two arms. Change direction. Remember, the circle can be a little bit smaller. And release that. This plant seems to be getting in the way. Okay, all right. Okay, and let's take a few breaths here. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, release. Let's do 2 more. Wonderful. And take your arms up. Take your right wrist and pull it over to the right. To the left. And change sides. And back to center. Interlace your fingers behind your back or hold a small towel. Take the shoulders back, chest open, belly in, and extend the arms behind you. Bring the shoulders back and down. And keeping this action in the arms, go ahead and bend at the waist and fold forward. And slowly bring it up and release. All right, now you can also use a small towel for what we are going to do next. I am going to use my shirt. So hold the short or the small towel with your right hand. And we're going to take the right arm up, bend the elbow, and with the other hand, press your elbow back. And also press your head back into the arm. So I'm not reaching my chin forward, but I'm staying straight and extended here. And now with the other arm, thumb down, and reach for the towel or the shirt, whatever it is that you're using. Take a deep breath, open the chest. Take your feet wide. And on your exhale, hinge the hips back, bend the knees, and fold forward. Slowly come up, and we will change sides. All right, how is the view? Everything looking okay? We're still having issues with the connection. Hopefully we don't lose it completely. All right, we're still here, still connected. All right. Second arm. Wow, this is quite annoying. This loss of reception coming in and out. Okay, let's see if we can keep going. So the second arm. Take your arm up, bend the elbow, and help the other arm to go back. Press the head back into the arm. And now, thumb down, wrap around behind you. Hold on Deep breaths. And on your exhale, bend the knees, hinge at the hips, fold in. And slowly come up and release. All right. Sorry for the bad connection. All right, we're gonna do our best. Okay, so let's still holding on to that small towel, or in this case I have a shirt. Hold the shirt with your palms facing up and try to bring it to the width of your shoulders. Okay, and we'll bring that to the wall. So place the forearms on the wall, step back, and open up the towel. So don't let your hands collapse in, but you're actively pushing out. So we're gonna have different levels of capacity to open that towel. Just stay at the point where you're challenged and where you're feeling it nice and deep in your shoulder. Keep your belly in, focus on bringing the chest down and turning the arms open. It's actually quite challenging. It's not an easy thing to do. So hold there for just a few breaths and release. Now come closer to the wall and we'll try to hold again, actively pulling the hands away from each other. So I'm stretching out the towel or the shirt. Come close to the wall and now extend the arms up and down. Not as easy as it looks. And let's go for 10 repetitions of this. And release that. Not so easy, huh? It's actually quite difficult. Go ahead and swing your arms out. Release that tension. Okay, now still on the wall. Let's start with our right hand on the wall and turn your fingers to face back. And the hand is at the height of my shoulder. If you have any sort of shoulder impingement here, it might be safer to keep the hand a little bit lower. So if it's pinching in the shoulder, bring it down to where it feels safe. All right, and keeping that hand where it is, now open the chest and turn to face away from the wall. Keep the hand that's on the wall very active. So keep pressing the hand actively into the wall. Press your fingertips into the wall. And with your other hand, open the chest. Let's take 3 more deep breaths here. and release. Now come, so you're to the side of the wall and reach your other arm up and over towards the wrist that's on the wall for a nice stretch here. And let's go to the other side. Left hand into the wall. Keep those fingers active, keep pressing. And now turn and open your chest. One more big breath here. And now, side stretch, reaching for the wrist on the wall. And release. All right, both hands to the wall. And we'll take our hips back, so we want to bring our body to about a parallel line with the floor. So wrists, shoulders, and hips. Hands at the width of your shoulders. Take the hips back. Lift the belly and bring your chest down towards the floor. Deep breaths here. It's okay to bend the knees. And let's slowly come out. All right, shake it out, swing your arms around. And I'm going to take all right, how are we doing? Still have reception. It's just kind of in and out. Michelle, ¿dónde te perdiste? You can always watch this class again if you get lost at some point. Okay. Back to our little towel. Let's do another forward fold, holding the towel or interlacing your fingers behind. Bend the knees, hinge forward, and bring it up. This reception is very annoying. Sorry, guys. Okay, we're gonna come down to the floor. All right, so find your mat. I'm going to bring it out here in the shade. Okay, find your mat. You can use a towel for your knee. So we're gonna come onto all fours. Hands at the width of your shoulders. And cat and cow. Inhale, arch. Exhale, round. Keep going. And we'll add on to that cat and cow. So this time, just keep your spine in a neutral position and only take your chest down and up, down and up. So my shoulder blades come together and apart. Keep your head neutral and only focus on the mobility of the shoulder blades here. Does that make sense? Let's do a few more. Great. Now we're gonna come to our belly and we're gonna do some push-ups because it's very important to strengthen the muscles as well. So there will be a few variations here. So let's take the hands a little bit wider than our shoulders, but still fingers at the level of your shoulders. And I suggest bending the knees and doing the push-up on your knees. So we're not going too intense in the push-up. Now, important in the push-up is to keep your body straight in a line. So don't do a wave. We want to keep the body tight and focus only on extending and bend. And let's see if we can go for 10. If you don't have 10, it's all right. Only do as many as you can today. All right, extend the arms forward, come into a child's pose. And come up. We're gonna come into downward dog. Let me just adjust this, okay? So coming into downward dog. And in downward dog, same movement with the shoulder blades. In and away. If I'm not bending, I am not bending my elbows. So without bending the elbows, letting the shoulder blades go down, and then pushing in and out. And it's totally okay to bend your knees. Like shoulder shrugging. Got it? All right, and come down to your knees for just a moment. Circle your shoulders back. Now we're gonna do downward dog push-ups. So for this exercise, we want to keep the body in an angle, in a straight angle, in a downward dog straight angle. I'm gonna show it first in this direction. We'll bend and extend the elbows. Bringing the head, the forehead or the nose between the thumbs. So from the profile view, it's not here. That's not it. Keep the chest back. It's okay to bend the knees. Take a little step forward so you're in a narrow downward dog. Bend and extend, bringing the nose or the forehead between your thumbs. And let's see if we can do 5. Well done. And come down, shake out your arms. How are those shoulders feeling? It's important to strengthen and to stretch. Both are important for mobility. Okay. And now coming to a seated position. Hands on the floor behind you. And the knees bent, feet about hip width apart, and fingers pointing out to the sides. Lean side to side and really get those shoulders back, get that chest open. Take a deep breath here, pressing the hands into the floor and lifting your chest. And now lift the hips and down. And we'll do a few reps here. And see if we can go for 10. Really lift those hips until you feel the stretch in the front of the shoulders. Bring it down, release, shake it out. Nicely done. Okay. Little sip of my green juice. So good. And you don't need any fancy machinery to make this juice. I just made it in a simple blender. Of course, you add water and play with the proportions of the ingredients to what feels good to you. So if you don't really like celery, you might not add so much celery. Okay. And let's come back to the floor. All right, so from all fours, reach your hands forward. So you'll keep your thighs vertical. Reach the fingers forward and bring the chest down towards the floor. May or may not make it to the floor, it doesn't matter, but get that big stretch in the front of the chest and in the shoulders. And come up. Ooh. Move it around. Well done. And let's come into some side planks, because with the side plank, we're going to use the strength of the shoulder to move from one plane to another. So we'll come on our forearms, and for these side planks, we'll bring our forearms parallel to each other in this orientation. And come into your plank position. And now turn your feet to one side and open the arm up. Bring the forearm down and change sides. You can alternate which forearm goes on top. I guess it doesn't really matter here. And let's see if we can do 10. and really focus on pushing from the shoulder. All right, last one. And come down. Well done. If you're watching this video afterwards and that was a little bit too much effort in your core than what you were willing to do today, you can keep your knees down and that will be a little bit less intense as far as core. Okay, let's bring things down to the floor and work in a little bit more passive movement. So go ahead and open a blanket if you want to be really comfortable on the floor. And come to lay on your back. All right. Open the arms out to the sides. Reach, reach, reach your fingers out. Lift your hips. And now bring the arms down by your side and back up, all the way up, overhead and down. Really reaching out through your fingers, and let's do 3 more. Interlace your fingers behind your back or hold that small towel. And lift the hips, press the arms into the floor. Keep your neck nice and long, chest lifting, throat open. And now walk your hands over to the right. Your feet over to the right. And now bring your hips down over your right arm. So your right arm is crossed behind your low back. Now let's take a few breaths here. And lift the hips, go to the other side. Walk, 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 walk the feet over. And now bring the hips down over the left arm. You're going to feel this nice and deep in the left shoulder, left neck. Maybe it feels good to move your head a little bit. All right, and bring it up, back to center, release. Woo. And roll over to your belly. On your belly, lift the chest, just hovering off the ground. Lift your legs, squeeze them together. And now we'll swim with our arms, just hovering over the ground. And let's try to go for 10, reaching all the way up, all the way back towards to touch our thighs. All the way, touch your thighs. done. Okay, now keeping your left arm straight out, level with your shoulder. Lift your right elbow, press into the floor, lift the right leg, open it up, and open up the left shoulder. Option to wrap this arm around the low back. And let's go to the other side. Same. Opening up now the right shoulder. Now make sure that there's a lot of space between the shoulder and the ear, so you're not shrugging. Option to wrap the other arm around. And release. Come back to your belly and let's just take a few deep breaths here. And a big cobra breath. Hands a little bit wider than your shoulders. And open up the chest. Move your shoulders here side to side. Side to side. All right, and bring it back. Little child's pose. Come to all fours. Inhale, open the left arm up. Take a deep breath here, reach long. And bring it under and through. Bring the shoulder all the way to the floor. And make sure that the shoulder comes away from your ear, that you're not shrugging the shoulder to the ear, but there's a lot of space and the neck is stretching out. Very important here. And you can wrap your other arm around. And twist to look up towards the ceiling. Release, and let's change sides. Open up, reach. And bring it through. Lots of space between the ear and the shoulder. And wrap it around. And release. Shake it out. Move your hips a little bit. Wiggle it out. Sip of green juice. All right, so staying close to the floor. We're gonna come to lay on our back. All right. So we'll bring our hips, we'll twist our hips. Now for this one, it's recommended to bring a cushion between your knees. Okay? And we'll try to keep our hips and our knees bent at 90 degrees. So go ahead and take your legs all the way. Let's start taking the knees all the way to our left. And try to make sure that you're at 90-90. With the left hand, hold down your right ribs. Bring them down. And with the right arm, we're going to open up the arm, reach all the way up and all the way down. Open the fingers, reach far, 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 and try to keep your fingernails in touch with the floor. So you're trying to keep the shoulder as open as possible. And if for some reason your hand doesn't come all the way down and it's floating up, it's okay. Just keep it to a range that is comfortable and challenging, both. I haven't been counting, but let's say we'll do 10, at least 10 repetitions. And also, I'm moving with my breath. So I'm inhaling as I reach the arm up. And exhaling as I reach down. And let's change sides. 90-90. Right hand to the left rib cage. And now opening the left arm. Inhaling to go up, exhale to go down. And let's do 10 repetitions. One more. And release. Okay, so now let's bring in that foam roller. We're gonna bring it across, or I mean not across, but we'll bring our spine on the foam roller. Now, if it's too intense on your spine, you can bring the towel or the blanket on top. So I am going to place that blanket over the foam roller, and I'm going to support my head with a cushion or a pillow. So if you have one of those really long foam rollers that are like the size or the length of your body, just go ahead and lay all the way on it. With the smaller ones, we'll need support for our head. So make sure that your neck is comfortable, that it's not hanging, and keep your knees bent. So the foam roller is comfortably nudged between my shoulder blades, and here I'll move my arms. I'll do a few shoulder movements here. It might feel good to just pause at different points and let your arms drop. Overhead feels really good too. So find different places where you can rest and let your chest open and let the shoulders drop down. So it's more of a passive stretch. Maybe holding there and breathing. A couple of breaths in each spot that feels particularly good to you. A little rocking and massaging also feels good, so feel free to explore. Really, whatever feels good to you here is completely valid. Just holding static and letting go is a good way to wrap up the class. Alright, so you can stay there resting as long as you like. I'll come a little bit closer to say goodbye for now. Oops. So this topic of shoulder mobility, this is something that we can work on quite a lot. Shoulders can, as I said, they can develop all sorts of restrictions. They can develop scar tissue, impingements. They are very prone to all sorts of issues like that because it's a very mobile joint. So we need to take care of it. So do these mobility exercises, explore the range of motion of your arms. Try to vary what you do. So if your habitual pattern is at a desk and your arms are always forward, find moments to open the arms. Find moments to wave the arms up, to challenge your body in different ways. And that is the recipe for maintaining good mobility, is actually moving. So if you want to have mobility, you have to move. Just make sure that you're moving in a way that is safe and appropriate for your body where it is today. Okay? Thank you for following today. And I will see you again on Monday for Mindful Monday. It'll be sweet and mellow. And I hope you guys are enjoying these classes. Please send me a little note, send me a little like out there to motivate me to keep coming here and teaching these classes to my phone and to you. So I want to know who is there. I want to know that I'm actually teaching to people and that they are actually using this for their benefit. Okay, thank you so much. Ciao, ciao. I'll see you soon.